Race 2 of the Challenger round will bring us to Richmond Raceway for a very late episode of the NASCAR The Game Inside Line custom season. Last week with the round of 16 format, you see 10 drivers in the chase have filled the 12 drivers have taken the first 12 spots, including Darlington winner Brad Keselowski, who is already through to the next round and doesn't have to worry about Talladega. And the only other drivers being Casey Kane and Jeff Burton. Kurt Busch, Marcus Ambrose, and Trevor Bayne. Trevor Bayne is the lowest of the chase drivers, starting tonight in 30th. Ambrose starts 28th. Kurt Busch will start 22nd. Casey Kane starts 18th. Jeff Burton will start 19th. Greg Biffle will start 12th. Brad Keselowski will start 11th. And then Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Dylan Murray, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and Kyle Busch will fill out the top 10. Kevin Harvick, Ryan Newman, Casey Kane, and Marcus Ambrose are currently the 4 drivers below the cut line as of right now. A lot can change in 100 laps. 2 hours waiting in the rain. The rain has stopped, and we're finally closing in on the start of the Federated Auto Parts 400. Kyle Busch will bring us down. Green flag is out at Richmond. Dale Jr. and Dylan Murray all over each other here for third. Edwards trapped up in the outside lane. Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick escape and lead lap 1. And with that, Kevin Harvick has moved inside the top 12 because, remember, after the checkered flag falls at Talladega, 12 move on, 4 do not. Dylan Murray trying to look for a hole under Kyle Busch, and he gets the contact there. Busch goes high, Dylan gets tight, and Dylan will clear Kyle Busch coming off of turn 2. Things seem to have settled down here early on in this race, filing into the top 3. Dylan Murray moves high. In turn 1, could be. Remember in the spring race how Dylan Murray led basically wire to wire, lapped the entire field multiple times? He had a rocket ship that night. In fact, he actually has brought the same car to this race that he used to essentially dominate back in the first Richmond race. Only difference is different paint. Other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. Dylan Murray charges into turn 1 on the bottom, continuing to pull away from Kyle Busch after a bit of a dogfight early on. But after that, he's gone. Dylan Murray has checked out. Almost a couple seconds on Busch as the field seems to have strung out. Compared to last week at Darlington, Dylan Murray started last, almost had the race won with a last-second dive bomb, nearly trying to take the win from Keselowski, who came out of nowhere and surprised us with his first win of the year in the arguably the biggest way to open the chase for the championship with a win in the Southern 500. Great way to open it. Keselowski's already through to the round of 12. So as of right now, the bottom four that would be cut are Trevor Bayne, Casey Kane, Jeff Burton, and Marcus Ambrose since the race started. Harvick started third. He's hanging on the top five. He's got a much better cushion compared to last week. As Dylan Murray is going to already cracking the lap traffic here, which means all the dirty air that Dylan Murray is around is going to allow Kyle Busch to eat into that lead bit by bit. $11 laps complete tonight at Richmond. Dylan Murray charges that into that corner. And he's going to put 6 cars a lap down. If a yellow were to come out, as of right now, Scott Speed would be the free pass car. And, of course, that'll probably change between now and the next car that he laps that Dylan Murray gets to. Is Trevor Bayne has been shuffled out to 35th by the looks of it. Yeah, 35th. Last car on the lead lap. He had that big win at Daytona to get into the chase. That obviously has gone out the window. Nine, 10, 11 cars, almost. Bobby Labonte trying to hold strong. Goes a lap down. And you can add Austin Dillon to that list as well. Dylan Murray continues to put cars a lap down. He's fast. I'd be a little worried if I was him. That 25 car has opened an amazing lead over Kyle Busch of almost 10 seconds before pit stops have hit in a race that is so far playing out borderline basically the same way as the spring race. Dylan Murray has opened up a massive lead, and if he keeps up, he could lap more cars by the time this is over, unless we get a caution between now to really shake things up, if you will. We went the entire race without a caution in the spring, in the air guard in the Richmond 400. The entire race went caution-free, which means anything can happen here as well. Marcus Ambrose is the next chaser to go a lap down in 27th. As the field has split into small groups, save for that big chunk on the front stretch. Dylan Murray charges in, and he's going to put Regan Smith a lap down. And he will continue to pull away. Kyle Busch led the opening 3 laps, but ever since then, Dylan Murray has led the next 18. And depending on how things play out on this next couple laps, just a few laps or so, we're going to see some pit stops. Including this big line of cars that has a lot of chase contenders that are seriously in danger of going a lap down. Trevor Bayne is a lap down, and so is Marcus Ambrose. The next two that are currently below the cut line are Kurt Busch in the 51 and Casey Kane in the 5 that could go a lap down here. Busch just went a lap down. Casey Kane looks to be next. And right there, more cars come to pit road. Kane has damage. Kurt Busch is going to pit road. Everybody seems to figure out that scramble there. Drivers making their way down. Remember, every position is worth a point. So the more cars drivers pass, the better your chances are of making the next round. And with the way Dylan Murway's gone, the race tonight, spending the first 25 laps just flying by cars like they aren't even there. Looks like Kyle Busch goes to pit road. And pit next time by, man. Pit. You're not going to make it out of the pits here. Got cars leaving pit road, cars entering pit road. This could be interesting in how that sorts out. So 4 cars are a lap down. And Dylan Murray is able to peel into pit road. And begin his first round of green flag stops. In this round, his next wave of pit stops tonight. Juan Montoya sits in second.
All right, guys, let's get ready.
This race has flown by so far in the first portion, with the first portion of tonight's race going caution-free. This shuffles out to Regan Smith taking the lead. Dylan Murray getting real squirrely coming off of 2, getting into pit lane. Everything seems to settle down. Lap car Jimmy Johnson in 17th, racing with Quapple in the 93 car to get back on the lead lap. Tony Stewart, non-chaser, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin. Those drivers are part of the chase for the championship. They're hoping Robbie Gordon can move out of the way here. Dylan Murray is going to split 2 of them. And he's going to have a nice shot at taking the lead away from Scott Speed by the time they get out of turn 2. As he pulls down right in front of the leader. And Dylan Murray will take the lead here at Richmond. As the field cycles back around, looks like, depending on how this pit cycle plays out, Kyle Busch could very well take the lead. "29 laps complete. We're almost to completing lap 30. As Dylan Murray has just lapped the entire field, with Denny Hamlin moving into second. The entire field is a lap down at this point. And depending on how this race will play out, this could be a sweep for Dylan Murray at Richmond. He won the spring race, basically dominating the entire race. Only difference here, Kyle Busch led the opening stretch of 3 laps. The rest of the time, that 25 American flag themed Chevrolet has been out front and has been spanking them. One whole lap ahead of the field. Denny Hamlin sits in second as Dylan Murray has led 30 laps so far tonight. Kyle Busch has led 3. And depending on how this caution comes, we could see a lot of drivers taking the wave around between this next yellow. Let's go to the bumper cam for a bit. To just give you an indication of how fast this track is, these cars are at Richmond. You can sort of see it here on the front bumper. When Dylan Murray hits the brakes going into the corner, the car sits. Watch it drop, almost. And then near the middle of the corner, he's able to put the power down. That's the reason he's so good at this place is it's a rhythm racetrack. He gets on the brakes hard going into turn 1, lets the car drift up because Richmond lately has started to develop a second groove. Then he lets the car power off. With the way the rest of the traffic sits right now, he's going to need to move around, learn to be adaptable, and that's been a pretty easy case, just that, as we've basically gone almost the first half of this race caution-free. We've had 2 races this year do just that, being both the first Richmond race and the New Hampshire race. A month or so back. Dylan Murray continues to lap the field like it's nothing. Gonna charge in the corner. Dylan Murray moving Logano out of the way. And it's an biffle, 3 wide, pinball. Everyone seems to get out of it. And Newman into the wall in turn 3. Somehow the caution has not come out. Ryan Newman gets up into the wall and he gets going. Dylan Murray has got a lot of tire wear on his tires. Kurt Busch is getting banged around by Jamie McMurray. Everybody's hitting everybody in this clump. If you're Dylan Murray, you want to get out of here and not try and force it 4 wide. Whoa! God. What? Why are you forcing it 4 wide? Got 3 lap cars, 2 chasers. It's not even worth trying to tear your car up. Stenhouse gets moved wide as they continue to bump and grind near the middle of the pack. Look at that, 3, 4 wide. Everyone's shuffling. Logano spins in turn 1 and a big hit. One car just slammed into the outside retaining wall. Kurt Busch spins Logano, and it looks like Jeff Burton just pounds that outside safer barrier. So we couldn't sweep both races caution-free here at Richmond. So the first caution is out, and with 90% of the field a lap down,
Okay, boys, here we go.
or more in some cases. How will this restart look if they leave the second place car Denny Hamlin in the middle of the pack? So, looks to me Scott Speed, Robbie Gordon, and Joe Nemechek were the cars that took the wave around. They didn't award the lucky dog for that last caution for the Logano-Burton incident. Looked like Stenhouse almost got in it as well. He had to pit. Dylan Murway and Jeff Gordon are on the front row. Sorry, Hamlin sits in second. Depending on how things play out. Hamlin sits in second, almost a full straightaway back. Tony Stewart is third in the order. But he is currently leading in line. Dylan Murway is falling to the outside lane behind Gordon. Edwards getting a little physical. Hamlin seems to be drifting back and losing a little bit of ground. Edmund thinks better of it. Big time checkup up ahead for 8th. So 3rd through 8th just got their lap back. As Edwards gets into Boyer, a little bit of contact. Hamlin is well inside the middle of this group. He is almost 7 seconds back. Edwards gets tipped, and around goes Boyer, who spins in the pit lane. Looks like he gets clean. Edwards pounds the wall. Boyer goes through pit road. They're 4 wide again. Montoya spins right into traffic. And a big... Who does he collect? Oh, Junior's in it, a playoff driver. Montoya lands right into the path of Dale Earnhardt Jr., who gets hammered really hard. Look at that. 4 wide never works at a short track, especially Richmond. There's a lot of room to make clean passes, but 4 wide is dangerous at this place.
Racetrack's clear.
So anybody from Johnson on back is pitted. Carl Edwards is credited with the lucky dog. So now the 4 that are getting cut that would be cut at Talladega, or if the round were to end now, would be Trevor Bayne, Ryan Newman, Jeff Burton, and Casey Kane. And it would basically be a tie right now for Kurt Busch. Harvick is 3 positions up from the cut line, and Junior is 7 positions. Edwards is 9. Basically, if you're not in the top 15 or so, you have a lot of problems heading to Talladega. Pace car is off. Hometown kid Denny Hamlin and Dylan Murway will lead the field down. Green flag into the air again. Stewart forces it 3 wide. Hamlin gets taken wide. 3 wide again. Everybody, 4 wide. Johnson and Gordon take advantage. Stewart goes to the point. And everything seems to be in order. Dylan charges it in to try to take 3rd from Johnson. And Dylan Murway sees the spot. He's going to try to maybe root Stewart out of the way. He's a non-chaser. Dylan Murway and Kenseth, they both want to win and not think about Talladega in the coming weeks. Kenseth up high, Stewart down low. Got a 4-car blanket here for the lead. 2 cars up front. Dylan Murway is roughing up Jimmy Johnson's back bumper. He gave some hard contact last go around. Gordon up to 4th. Dylan gets way wide. Stewart and Kenseth lead. Dylan takes Kenseth wide. 3 wide almost. Oh, boy. Hamlin to 3rd. He is the number 1 seed coming into the playoffs with the most wins. He'd love to win at his home track and not think about Talladega. So you got 4 chasers in a blanket fighting for 2nd. Tony Stewart is loving life right now. And around goes Busch. Hard hit this time. Hard hit right in front of traffic. Dylan gets the wall. Clips Kyle Busch. Sends Busch spinning. Slammed into by Jimmy Johnson. So that's the 3rd caution tonight. Now with this, Biffle, Ambrose, Kane, and Busch. Sorry, Newman, Kane, Busch, and Ambrose. Or the final 4 that would be cut. Or the first 4 that would be cut at Talladega. If the playoffs were to start next week. Oh boy. You know what they say about short tracks? Cautions breed cautions. Dylan Murway forces it 3 wide on Stewart. Pins Gordon against the wall. Dylan is able to take the lead. Tony Stewart looking down low, side by side as we take the lead. Dylan barely led that lap. Able to go off Stewart. Gordon to the point. There's the Darlington winner, Keselowski, in 7th. Oh, by the way, everybody's back on the lead lap. So it is Gordon, Stewart, Montoya, Johnson, and Edwards, the top 5. Stewart with the lead. Looks like Johnson's going to duck to the inside lane. Dylan Murway is just worn out Carl Edwards. Oh, boy. 20 to go. Dylan Murway sends it in. Almost gets into Gordon. Man, this is shaping up to be a physical race. Got 2 non-chasers up front. 2 chasers that do have a shot at winning. Gordon and Dylan fighting for 4th. Dylan gets the spot. Going to charge it in under Johnson for 3rd. Jeff Gordon has not won at Richmond since 2000. He'd love to get a good old nice win for the win column. The last time he won, Bill Clinton was the president. And we were heading into arguably the 2nd most controversial U.S. election of all time. Stewart and Dylan lead. Dylan letting know Stewart's there. Stewart gives the bottom up. Johnson settles into 3rd. He's probably loving the fact that Dylan's getting on that 14. Dylan crosses low, takes the lead. Couple cars coming out of the pits. 2 cars coming in, 2 cars coming out. McDowell is one of them. Stewart to the inside. Johnson gets turned off of 2. Playoff driver hard into the wall. Caution comes out. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We may see some fights. Yeah, tempers are going to be high after this race, I think. We've already had 4 cautions in the second half alone. 13 to go. How far can Dylan make the tires and fuel last? That bumper is going to get real wide. Dylan is going to go high. And problems. Dylan loses spots. Hamlin to the lead. Johnson up the track. Dylan trying to make it stick. And, oh boy, this could end ugly. 13 to go. Dylan Murway is using up anybody who's around him. That's old short track move. If your right side's been worn up and the paint scratched and the Goodyear's gone, you've been racing. If your left side's been used up, you've been raced. Denny Hamlin leads. Trying to get to the outside lane. 11 to go. 3 cars already did pit. There are a couple back markers up ahead. They blend back in line. Dylan charges the corner, leaving the bottom open. Right on there. He's neck and neck off 4. Looks like Dylan will get the spot. He's trying to stretch those tires. I don't know if he can. Bain blends in line. He's got Hamlin all over him. Labonte up the track. Dylan is just using up those tires. Dylan crosses low, tries to get under Hamlin, moves him out of the way. They make contact off the corner. Almost. Stewart is in this mix. Johnson's up there as well. These two really start getting the racing. You could see a nice little upset here. Stewart to the point. 8 to go. 3 wide. 4 cars for the lead. Dylan up out of the groove. Still banging into Johnson. And around they go. Kenseth into the wall. And a hard hit. Matt Kenseth gets T-boned when he lands right into the path of Bobby Labonte. He couldn't make that run stick.
I'm taking a splash of gas and 4 tires. Okay, let's get this stuff figured out.
So Hamlin and Dylan pit. Got 2 tires.
All right, guys, we need to be smooth and fast here. Yeah, let's go.
This could be a critical stop. Only a handful of drivers pit. So Jimmy Johnson is up front. Denny Hamlin was the first off of pit road. And he will restart 8th. Shout out to Robbie Gordon, though, hanging on in 7th. That big shout out. Dylan Roy muscles Hamlin out of the way. 6 laps to go. 3 wide in the back. And Junior is going to go around. The caution is not out. Everyone stacks up, and now it is. You knew somehow somebody was going to get turned around behind in the stack up, and that was Casey Kane, Austin Dillon, and Marcus Ambrose. 6th caution. 3 laps to go in scheduled distance. Can Stewart, Johnson, Edwards, or somebody else win this race? Dylan Murway has just charged that corner well into the outside lane. He makes it work, almost. Dylan nearly moves Johnson out of the way. He's got his sights set on Tony Stewart. 2 to go. Stewart leaving the top lane open. He's just moved Dylan up the racetrack. Here comes Stewart's into the wall. Johnson gets taken out into traffic. Huge moment. Stewart booted up the track, clipped off the side of Dylan Murway. Johnson gets into the inside wall. Everyone else checks up to avoid. Overtime here at Richmond. Harvick gets the lucky dog. Dylan Murway and Carl Edwards fought it out for the lead late at Darlington. They could fight for a spot in the round of 12 here. Edwards up the track. Here comes Montoya. They bang. Will Dylan force the issue? Everyone spins. Montoya slams into the fence. So now we're going to a second overtime. Yellow flag number 8. Hamlin and Keselowski did really check up there.
I've got a clean-up truck and a vacuum truck out on a racetrack.
Several drivers in the back had to take the wave around. Biffle, Bain, Kurt Busch, and Marcus Ambrose, to name a few. Newman has a 2-point cushion as of right now. So Newman, Kane, Burton, and Murway are the drivers to watch. And then Kenseth, Busch, Gordon, Johnson, Harvick, Keselowski, Hamlin, Jr., and Edwards would be the drivers to watch. Second attempt at a green-white checkered. Edwards leads. Hamlin is second. In the line, 2 laps to go. Will Hamlin do anything? And Dylan Murway has just shot his way up through the field like a cannon. Edwards, Hamlin, Martin, the top 3 with 2 to go. Dylan Murray will force it 3 wide. He's trying to make up all the positions he can. Dylan to third. Edwards with the white flag here at Richmond. Hamlin into the wall. We will race back. Dylan Murray, he's got one last shot. Edwards up the track. Side by side, they bang, they touch. Edwards into the wall. And Dylan Murray wins a chaotic race at Richmond.
Well, definitely makes up for Darlington.
Dylan Murray doors Carl Edwards off the turn. Edwards finishes third, so Dylan Murray will join Brad Keselowski in the round of 12. So as of right now, Murray and Keselowski, if they were to crash at Talladega, will still advance. So Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon are the 5 highest drivers as of right now. Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, 6th and 7th. Hamlin is 8th in points right now. Busch is 9th. Newman is 10th. Ambrose is 11th. And the cut line as it sits, Trevor Bayne is in 12th. 3 points ahead of Jeff Burton. 4 positions ahead of Jeff Burton. Casey Kane, 5 positions back. Greg Biffle, 7 positions back. So the bottom 4, Bayne, Burton, Kane, and Biffle. Harvick as well. So Edwards, Keselowski, Harvick, Jr., Johnson, and Gordon are the next 5 highest drivers. So Edwards would be 3rd in points. Harvick would be 4th in points. Jr. would be 5th. Johnson would be 6th. Gordon would be 7th in points. Busch would be 8th. Kenseth would be 9th. Hamlin would be 10th. Kurt Busch would be 11th. And we have a tie right now in 12th. Ryan Newman and Marcus Ambrose. Due to the better finishes the past couple races, Ryan Newman would win the tiebreaker. 11th and 12th. Trevor Bayne, Casey Kane, Jeff Burton, and Greg Biffle are all the drivers that are hanging on the outside of the round of 16 heading into Talladega next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. See you there.